Hi, and welcome to the HT2 channel. This week we are going to debunk the term natural disaster and how its use is detrimental to society. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this week's session. Welcome back to the HT2 channel. I am Kelly, and I will be walking you through today's video, wherein we debunk the term natural disaster. Think about that term for a moment. What makes a disaster a disaster? According to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, or IFRC for short, a disaster is a sudden, calamitous event that seriously disrupts the functioning of a community or society and causes human, material, and economic or environmental losses that exceed the community's or society's ability to cope using its own resources. Furthermore, a disaster occurs when a hazard impacts on vulnerable people. The combination of hazards, vulnerability, and inability to reduce the potential negative consequences of a risk results in disaster. The likelihood and frequency of natural hazards in an area will identify the significance of a disaster risk. However, it is the society, socioeconomic inequalities, urban planning, lack of stringent policies, and lack of effective mitigation efforts that will result in the disaster. It is not natural, it is cultural. It is the human and societal impacts from a natural hazard that are disastrous. The loss of life, the loss of property, the loss of infrastructure, and beyond are the disaster. By calling it a natural disaster, we imply that there is nothing we can do to mitigate or lessen the impact, which is far from the truth. In urban planning, we continue to place profitability over risk time and time again. We build where there is historical evidence of risk and often build with codes that are likely to fail when confronted with a natural hazard. For example, the building codes of California are significantly more stringent than those in Washington for seismic. Why is that? There are many factors that influence a society's acceptance of risk. The frequency of events is a huge influencer, and California has more frequent earthquakes that are felt by the population. In addition, since the codes are developed at the jurisdiction's level, become laws, and affect a substantial portion of a jurisdiction's economy, interests may be swayed by lobbyists and other special interest groups. Basically, the lower building code standards, the less the cost to build. If you visit FEMA's website and search for seismic building codes, you will come to a page that states the following. There is an often repeated saying, earthquakes don't kill people, buildings do. Although you can't control the seismic hazard in the community where you live or work, you can influence the most important factor in saving lives and reducing losses from an earthquake, the adoption and enforcement of up-to-date building codes. So, does that mean that profitability at a societal level may outweigh the value of human life? Remember, there is nothing natural about disasters. It is completely predicated by the societal influences and steps taken before an event that will impact the outcome. It is a natural hazard or earthquake that only becomes a disaster when people come into the mix. Well, that is a wrap for this week. Remember, we have natural hazards that we can mitigate and lessen the impact of the outcomes. Please like, share, and follow us for all of the latest videos. Stay safe, my friends.